Let's talk about it. Let's talk about karma. Now, at its purest form, if we take it down to its quanta, karma is not about punishment. It's about energetic balance. It's a universal mechanism by which energy, whether that is thought, action, even frequency, returns to the point of origin in accordance with its vibrational signature. Now, in Sanskrit, karma literally means action or deed, but in Hinduism, Buddhism, and a plethora of esoteric schools, it's perceived as a form of bookkeeping. Now, this is not to be confused with the Judeo-Christian perception of judgment or sin. It's just an impersonal, mechanical, and utterly just system. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you broadcast. Now, if you are a real quantum thinker, you're automatically probably thinking about that Newtonian concept of karma, cause and effect, over linear time. But that's still far too limited. See, karma is non-local. It doesn't always operate on that 1-to-1 ratio across lifelines. See, it transcends what we perceive as linear time. And instead, it exists at an energetic entanglement across dimensions, lifelines, even parallel realities. See, when a soul acts with intention, that act sends out a waveform out into the unified field. And that waveform doesn't just float off and dissipate. It starts to interact with other waveforms, and it starts creating interference patterns. And this starts shaping reality itself. If that waveform was rooted in distortion, and that means fear, manipulation, violence, that interference creates chaos. Now, if that waveform was rooted in harmony, like love, truth, even service, it aligns with coherence. Now, eventually, that waveform will return to the original soul. And it's going to return in experience, emotion, patterns, maybe even lessons. So it's not about punishment. It's about coherence, restoration. Let's talk about karmic loops. What if a karmic loop is not a repeating process because someone didn't learn a lesson? Maybe it's because multiple versions of the self hold on to that unsolved frequency. And when these timelines start to merge, which is what we're going through now, it amplifies. This explains why you suddenly feel overwhelmed with emotions and don't know why, or maybe you feel like they're not even yours. What you're feeling is the echo of that unresolved karma from the other lifelines themselves. Healing it in one timeline can collapse the loop in others. We do this by various modalities of quantum healing, hypnotherapy. Time jumping is quite a powerful tool. Now, what is this collective and ancestral karma? We inherit ancestral karma. It's epigenetically encoded. Traumas, beliefs, even oaths. The collective karma is an agreement made by a group of consciousness. And this is like nations, cultures, even species. Now, this collective karma is stored in a morphogenic field. And this field is called the Akashic Record. And when someone from a bloodline steps up as a pattern breaker, they're not just healing themselves. They're rewriting quantum codes, and that ripples across an infinite amount of lifelines. It's why you're doing the work you're doing. Now, how about karma versus dharma? While karma is a webbed base cause and effect resonance, dharma is the soul's path. Following dharma tends to dissolve karma. When a person aligns with their authentic frequency, their soul signature, they step out of that karmic wheel and into dharmic flow. You might hear this referred to as ascending. You might even hear it referred to as unplugging from the matrix. This is also why some souls seem to be free of that karmic consequence. It's not because they're exempt. It's because they're aligned. Because when you operate from that full integrity, that universal truth, karma becomes irrelevant because your frequency no longer resonates with that distortion. Now, what is the matrix? Exactly. Simulated overlay, okay? It's comprised of fake narratives like control systems, cultural programming, fear-based cycles. And within this framework, karma has been weaponized. Souls have been tricked into this recycling through incarnation loops, and it's all under the guise of karmic debt. It's usually guided by sometimes false light entities, false ascended masters, false gatekeepers. It's a karma trap. And it's a construct of the matrix itself. This is why awakening is not a personal process. It's a liberation from a karmic feedback loop. Unplugging from the matrix means understanding that not all karma is yours and it doesn't all have to be paid. Some of it's got to be transmuted. Karmic is not a punishment system. It is not a debt to be paid. It's just the technology of consciousness. And like all technologies, it can be manipulated. It can be misunderstood, but it can be mastered. You are not at the mercy of your karma. You're the co-creator of it, and over an infinite amount of lifelines. And what you do with that is where your real power lies. Be kind to yourself.